challenges are many. We know the stories of falling behind. We know the burdens that sometimes wear us down. Yet, with hope, we rise. With hope, we come together. Today, we unite to share a story of dreams, to tell the story of an aspiring Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a land of rivers where life flows with courage, patience, and hope. From villages shaped by soil and sweat to cities built on dreams and determination, this nation moves forward one step at a time. But progress demands courage. It demands a stand against corruption and extortion. It demands the light of good governance and the strength to rise above fascism. In every village, school, and city classroom, education lights the path forward. In every clinic and hospital, health protects the future. A strong economy is not just numbers on paper, it is food on the table, confidence in the heart, and dignity in work. Through information and communication technology, new doors open, new ideas rise, new possibilities begin. Employment empowers our youth. It makes the nation proud. With SME funds, skills, and freelancing, young minds rise with courage. They build industries, grow the economy, and drive the power of progress. In growing cities and expanding towns, smart planning and urban management shape a better life for all. When women become self-reliant, families grow stronger. Women lifts the nation higher. This is the Bangladesh of our dreams, a nation that awakens hope within us all, a land where no one is left behind, where opportunity reaches every home, where dreams walk on every road and hope flows through every river. This is not just a dream. This is a promise. This is a pact. We are fully prepared to build the Bangladesh of our dreams, a Bangladesh envisioned by Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami. We know our challenges are many. We know the stories of falling behind. We know the burdens that sometimes wear us down. Yet, with hope, we rise. With hope, we come together. Today, we unite to share a story of dreams, to tell the story of an aspiring Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a land of rivers where life flows with courage, patience, and hope. From villages shaped by soil and sweat to cities built on dreams
Dear
and
audience,
determination,
ladies and
this
gentlemen,
nation moves
honorable guests,
forward
we are
one
humbly
step at
requesting
a
you
time.
to have your
But
seats once
progress
again.
demands
We are
courage.
going to start the next session within a minute. We would be grateful if you have your seats within the time. In the next session, we are going to talk about promoting prosperity, economy, business, and investment.
It demands a stand against corruption and extortion. It demands the light of good governance and the strength to rise above fascism. In every village, school, and city classroom, education lights the path forward. In every clinic and hospital, health protects the future. A strong economy is not just numbers on paper, it is food on the table, confidence in the heart, and dignity in work. Through information and communication technology, new doors open, new ideas rise, new possibilities begin. Employment empowers our youth. It makes the nation proud. With SME funds, skills, and freelancing, young minds rise with courage. They build industries, grow the economy, and drive the power of progress. In growing cities and expanding towns, smart planning and urban management shape a better life for all. When women become self-reliant, families grow stronger. Women lifts the nation higher. This is the Bangladesh of our dreams, a nation that awakens hope within us all, a land where no one is left behind, where opportunity reaches every home, where dreams walk on every road and hope flows through every river. This is not just a dream. This is a promise. This is a pact. We are fully prepared to build the Bangladesh of our dreams, a Bangladesh envisioned by Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami. We know our challenges are many. We know the stories of falling behind.
Dear audience,
We
ladies
carry
and gentlemen,
dreams.
we are humbly requesting you to be silent and have your seats. We are going to start the next policy presentation session.
Story of dreams, to tell the story of an aspiring Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a land of rivers, where life flows with courage, patience, and hope. From villages shaped by soil and sweat to cities built on dreams and determination, these
policy presentation sessions. The first one would be promoting prosperity, economy, business, and investment. And then we'll be talking about youth employment policy to delivery. And after that, delivering on equity, women, and in action. And the next one is education for the future, policy for change. And the last one would be health matters, policy for transformation. All this presentation will be divided into two segments. At the very beginning, keynote speaker will give a presentation about the topic while you're requested to take notes and note down the necessary questions about the presentation. And after that, panel members will share their remarks and answer the questions as much as possible within the time. Hopefully we're going to cover all the sessions properly with your cooperation and attention. We would be grateful to you if you have your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, respected guests, honorable diplomats, guests, and others, we'd like to request you to have your seats, please. We are going to start the next policy presentation session, and it's going to be about promoting prosperity, economy, business, and investment. We would be grateful to you if you have your seats right now, because we are going to start this session within a minute. It would be easy for us to conduct the session with your cooperation. We're going to cover 5 more policy presentation sessions with 5 different topics. The first one would be promoting prosperity, economy, business, and investment. Next one would be youth development policy to delivery. And after that, delivering on equity, women, and action. And the next one would be education for the future, policy for change. And the last one would be health matters, policy for transformation. Now, Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, we are humbly requesting you to have your seats right now. We are going to start the next policy presentation session. And our next session focuses on promoting prosperity, economy, business, and investment. And it will address economic resilience, investment, employment generation, and sustainable development. For having a discussion about this very policy, we'd like to invite the panel member, Mia Ghulam Parwar, former Member of Parliament, Secretary General of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, Professor Dr. Warisul Karim, keynote speaker, full-time faculty, Professor and SBE Dean, PhD in Corporate Financial Reporting, University of Leeds, UK, Professor Dr. H.M. Mosharraf Hussain, Professor and Chairman, Department of Finance, Dhaka University, Dr. Shibbir Ahmed, Assistant Professor of Economics at North-South University, Shamim Sarah Khan, former Additional Secretary, Ministry of Industry, Dr. Nasiruddin Ahmed, Policy Advisor, International Growth Center, former Chairman, NBR. Now, I'd like to request the Honorable keynote speaker and the panel members to have their seats on stage. I'd like to humbly request the keynote speaker and the panel members to have their seats on stage. And I'd like to repeat it again. The first one is Mia Ghulam Parwar, former Member of Parliament, Secretary General of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, Professor Dr. Warisul Karim, who would be the keynote speaker of today's presentation, full-time faculty, Professor and SBE Dean, PhD in Corporate Financial Reporting, University of Leeds, UK. I'd like to request the panel members and keynote speaker to have their seats on stage. Could you please have your seats on stage? Professor Dr. H.M. Mosharraf Hussain, Professor and Chairman, Department of Finance, University of Dhaka. Dr. Shibbir Ahmed, Assistant Professor of Economics at North-South University, who earned his PhD in Applied Economics from Michigan State University, and previously served as a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Virginia. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the panel members and keynote speaker. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'd like to invite Honorable Keynote Speaker, Professor Dr. Warisul Karim, to deliver his keynote address. I'd like to request the audience again for having a round of applause for Dr. Warisul Karim. I'd like to request Professor Dr. Warisul Karim to start the presentation.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Thank you.
Sorry for interruption. I'd like to request the audience who sit behind and stand behind, could you please have your seats and keep silent? It would be easy for us to continue the presentation and get your attention. And the audience, you are requested to take notes while giving presentation. We'd be happy because after presentation, we are going to give you floor to ask the questions directly to the presenter and panelist. So we'd be happy if you have your seats and little bit maintain the silence of the hall room. Thank you. I'd like to request the Dr. Warsul Karim to start the presentation.
All right, assalamu alaikum everyone. A very good afternoon. My name is Warsul Karim. I'm currently working at North-South University and in charge of the Dean of the School of Business and Economics. I started my career at Dhaka University as a student of finance and then as a teacher of finance. I still consider myself a student of finance and economics. I taught at different places in the world, but over the last three and a half decades, I tried to find out how best to help this country that we all love, the country that is so full of potentials, the country that has an enormous level of talent, but we do not have the right kind of, or did not have the right kind of governance, the right kind of policies. So my assignment today is to go over the economic policy, the fiscal policy, mostly tax and banking, central banks, bank independence, revenue, healthcare. So overall, the economic policy envisioned by Jamaat-e-Islami, Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, and the alliance that they have formed. So I'd like to start with a newspaper this morning, just a few hours ago. It was so timely.
তৈরি করার জন্য আমরা চেষ্টা করব। আমরা এখানে প্রোডাক্টিভ টেকনিক্যাল বেস এগ্রিকালচারের উপরে আমরা জোর দেব, যাতে করে ফুডে আমরা স্বয়ংসম্পূর্ণ হয়ে আমরা একটা এক্সপোর্ট করার মতো পজিশন আমরা দিতে পারি। এরপরে বাংলাদেশে এখন যে নিরাপত্তার সমস্যা, আমরা এমন একটি দেশ করব যেখানে পুরুষ তো বটে, একজন মহিলা নির্বিঘ্নে রাত 2টায় তার পথ চলতে পারে। তো এই সব কিছু মিলিয়ে আমরা মনে করি 56 বছরে বাংলাদেশের যে ডেডলক ছিল, এটা উত্তরণ ঘটিয়ে আমাদের 5 আগস্টের যে বিপ্লব সাধিত হচ্ছে, সেটার আকাঙ্ক্ষা এসপিরেশনকে আমরা ধারণ করে আমরা একটা নিউ বাংলাদেশ গড়ে তুলব ইনশাল্লাহ, যেখানে আমাদের সার্বভৌমত্বর ব্যাপারে, স্বাধীনতার ব্যাপারে আমরা দৃঢ় থাকব এবং সকল দেশের সাথে উইথ ইকুয়াল রেসপেক্ট অ্যান্ড প্রিভিলেজ আমরা সুসম্পর্ক বজায় রাখার জন্য আমরা চেষ্টা করব। এগুলো হচ্ছে আমাদের সাইলেন্ট ফিচার্স অফ দি আওয়ার পলিসি।
আজকের এই প্রোগ্রামে অনেক দেশের কূটনীতিকরা এসছেন, তো আপনাদের এই কর্মসূচির মাধ্যমে বিভিন্ন দেশে বা বাইরের দেশে আসলে জামাত সম্পর্কে বিভিন্ন যে নেগেটিভ প্রচারণা ছিল, সেটি আসলে কমে যাবে কিনা এবং তাদের তাৎপর্যটা কি আজকে এই প্রোগ্রামে আসায়?
আসলে জামাতে ইসলামী সম্পর্কে অনেক মিসপ্রোপাগান্ডা দেশ এবং বিদেশে ছিল। আমরা ইতিমধ্যেই বিদেশের সাথে আমাদের অনেক গভীর সম্পর্ক তৈরি হচ্ছে, এক্সচেঞ্জ হচ্ছে। যে সমস্ত মিসপ্রোপাগান্ডা ছিল অনেকটাই অপনোদন করতে আমরা সক্ষম হয়েছি এবং সেটার প্রমাণ হচ্ছে আজকে আমেরিকা থেকে শুরু করে, রাশিয়া থেকে শুরু করে, মুসলিম দেশ চায়না থেকে শুরু করে অন্যান্য মুসলিম দেশ, প্রায় সকল দেশের কূটনীতিকেরা আজকের এই মিটিংয়ে আসছে। এটাই প্রমাণ করে যে তাদের সাথে আমাদের একটি ওয়ার্কিং রিলেশন আছে এবং জামাত সরকার আসলেও তারা জামাতের সাথে কাজ করবে বলে আমাদের সাথে তারা প্রতিশ্রুতিবদ্ধ। থ্যাংক ইউ।
আপনি বলছিলেন যে বিভিন্ন খাতগুলোতে বাজেট বাড়ানো হবে, স্বাস্থ্য খাতে বর্তমান 4% সেটা বের করে 6%।
আমরা 6 থেকে 8% করব।
এই টাকাটা কোথা থেকে আসবে সেটা আসলে যদি একটু
না, আসলে আমাদের যে বাজেট আছে সে বাজেট থেকেই হবে, প্রপোর্শনটা আমরা এখানে বাড়িয়ে দেবো।
সেক্ষেত্রে অন্য সেক্টরগুলোতে বাজেট ঘাটতি
বাজেট ঘাটতি দেখা দেবে না, এই জন্য আমাদের অনেক জায়গায় বাজেট অ্যালোকেশন হয় দুর্নীতির কারণেই 50% খাইয়ে ফেলে। সুতরাং আমরা মনে করি যে দুর্নীতি মুক্ত যদি আমরা গভর্নেন্স করতে পারি তাহলে অন্য সেক্টরেও বাজেট ঘাটতির কোনো সম্ভাবনা থাকবে না।
একজন স্পিকারের বক্তব্য ছিল যে এই যে দুর্নীতি কমানোর কথা বলছেন সেটা আসলে কিভাবে কমাবে?
প্রথম কথা হচ্ছে আমরা যারা ক্ষমতা থাকবো, লিডারশিপ যারা আছে, আমাদের মন্ত্রী প্রধানমন্ত্রী যারা থাকবে, তারা নিজেরা যখন দুর্নীতিমুক্ত হবে অটোমেটিক্যালি এর প্রভাব আমাদের অন্যান্যদের কাছে পড়বে। 2 নম্বর হচ্ছে দুর্নীতির ব্যাপারে আমাদের জিরো টলারেন্স থাকবে, যেখানেই দুর্নীতির সোর্স আছে এটা আমরা তখনই গুড়িয়ে দেবো ইনশাআল্লাহ। সুতরাং এই যে মোটিভেশন, আইনের প্রয়োগ এবং আমাদের সিস্টেম অফ গভর্নেন্সকে যদি আমরা প্রপার করতে পারি এই দুর্নীতি কমে যাবে।
Our borrowing cost is only less than 1%. But the situation in Bangladesh is completely opposite. Here you have seen Bangladesh Bank had issued bonds at interest rates as high as 12.9%. So for us, borrowing $1 is equivalent to the US borrowing $12. This is a very important point. We can't afford to be on the path that we are on. Borrowing at 12%, and then within 6 years, your debt level is going to double. Within 6 years, and within 12 years, it's going to quadruple. So I think debt servicing cost is one of the more important issues that we need to be looking at. And also, debt servicing cost to tax, debt servicing cost to our GDP is very high. So debt as a whole, although low compared to many other countries, compared to the GDP, I hope I could make it clear, debt is about 40% of GDP, but debt servicing cost is about 23% of our annual revenue. So if we move to our next problem, which is, we call it banking collapse. You have seen about 10 banks have been identified as seriously in trouble. 5 had to be merged into one, Jamaat-e-Islami Bank. And of those 5, there was one bank whose asset quality review, the AQR showed 98% of their loans and advances was toxic. So if you cannot collect 98%, and most of them had 40%, 60%, 70 up to 98%. So the total non-performing loan, when the last government took power, was only 22,000 crore taka, 22,000 koti taka থেকে এখন এটা 6,44,000 koti taka. So it has, you need to find a new, much wider scale of calculator to find it out. In other words, from less than about 1/5 of a trillion, just remember, 1/5 of a trillion, it has become 6.45 trillion in a span of 15 years. And the more ironical, the more frustrating issue was that the country, the policymakers, the donors, the international partners have not been allowed to see the real picture because we didn't apply International Accounting Standards 9, we didn't apply the global, the International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, to calculate and show our real NPL, the real non-performing loan. So there was a camouflaging. It was camouflaged, people were kept in dark. So these are 2 of the biggest problems that we are now standing. So the policy that we are going to propose is on the back of these issues. And then other seriously, maybe less serious, but other more important issues, we spent on capacity charge, on so-called, that in our electricity sector, we spend a lot of money on capacity charge. Means even though the factory, the suppliers, their machines are not functioning, even if they don't do anything, we still pay for their capacity, and about 2.65 trillion taka was spent over the last 15 years. So this led to what we call massive unemployment. And just one statistic, I just picked one statistic from yesterday's, day before yesterday's newspaper. You have seen on Pratham Alo, they said that Bangladesh was employing some primary school headmasters, and for about 1,200 positions, total 7 lakh, more than 7 lakh people, educated people have applied. So for one position, remember, for one position, about double the size of this room. If we fill this room, it would be about 350 people or 300. So for each position, the total number of applicants was 627. You imagine, একটা পজিশনের জন্য 627 জন অ্যাপ্লাই করছেন, এবং that is not even a coveted position. It's only a primary school headmaster position which pays roughly $140 a month. Just for my overseas friends, $140 a month job drew more than 600 applicants for one each position. So the country's educated unemployment is just intolerable. I would say inexplicable. National university graduates about 1 million graduates every year, and of which 600,000 become jobless. So recently one of the vice chancellors, the National University VC, said that I'm proud to be the VC of the largest university of the world, but I'm also the VC of the largest unemployed producing factory in the world. And SOE losses, we have 49 state-owned enterprises. They have chronic losses. This is again another vexing, pressing issue. SOE losses in just last fiscal year was more than 28,000 crore taka. Of course, not to mention the money laundering, 28 trillion taka, apparently, according to Dr. Devopriya's report, white paper, 28 lakh koti taka had been siphoned overseas. So the development philosophy, and I'd like to build on our previous presenter who gave an overarching development, the governance philosophy. So building on that, remember, anything that I'm going to propose over the next 10-15 minutes is contingent upon a success of a good governance, a governance with good governance, a governance based on meritocracy, a government who will be incorruptible, not only not corrupt. We're proposing a government which would be difficult to corrupt, incorruptible government. So if those assumptions hold, only under that scenario, these policies could be implemented. So we assume, and not just assume, we promise an incorruptible government. We assume a welfare state, a growing, thriving, smart, but also welfare state, a state where the state doesn't take their hands off the poor and the elderly. So we would like the government, the public institutions to hold hands to our orphans, to our weak and vulnerable, to those in disease, to the elderly and children and unemployed, of course. We're going to propose some smart solutions. We promise equitable, fast, as I said, growing and sustainable economy, because the current path is simply unsustainable. We're going to assure social justice and use Islamic finance tools. We're using Islamic finance institutions and instruments. We promise a digitalized economy, digital transactions. We're going to make the most use of all the digital tools available in the world, and AI solutions for financial inclusion. So, of course, Mr. Alamgir has proposed an inclusive economy, inclusive growth. So to do that, you have to have complete, broader financial inclusion of everyone living in the country. The proposals are going to be business friendly. You'll see how. Youth friendly, women friendly, environmentally friendly. It will be based on an exploitation or aimed at an exploitation free society where poverty would be said goodbye, poverty would be sent on exile. So we'll not say zero poverty, but the government will try to reduce poverty to a more tolerable, reasonable level. And the long-term goal, of course, desire is to have zero poverty. We are also proposing a regionally balanced economy. As our previous speaker has said, that we propose 64 districts, all 64 districts to have 64 great towns, not just Dhaka and Chittagong, and 500 other towns around the country involving all the upazilas. and inclusive and equitable growth that I already mentioned. So to do that, some of the very ambitious proposals, we are proposing a highest tax rate. And to any tax professional, we have Sir here, former chairman of NBR, Dr. Nasiruddin. The highest income tax in this country is going to be 19%. No Bangladeshi citizen, no one will pay more than 19% of their taxable income. This is something we'll achieve gradually. We'll not just have it in the first year. It will take some 2 years to bring it down from current 30. Right now, the highest individual tax rate is 30%. The highest corporate tax rate is exorbitantly high. 45% in some cases, 40% for some of the successful telecom companies, and 35% for others. So the corporate income tax rate is also going to be 19%. This is extremely ambitious, so I'd like you to hold your breath to see how we are going to achieve that. So both individual and corporate tax rate will be capped at 19%, one of the lowest in the world, except for Kuwait, Qatar, and some of the tax havens. So the countries where people pay taxes, I don't think you're going to find any country where you'll find more than 19% of taxes. Then VAT rate will be capped at 10%. Currently it is 15%, but there are other lower rates. So we'll not touch the lower ones. The top rate is going to be 10%. Gradual reduction will take place from the current 15 to 10. We're going to propose a smart social security card. So this is also another hallmark of this proposal. It may look just like one line. So what we're going to propose is, right now, we have NID cards, and we also have TIN numbers, tax identification numbers. So we propose that the current NID card will be converted into a TIN, into a tax identification number or TIN card, and together merging all the entitlements, all your healthcare, social security safety net entitlements, every citizen will have one card. And that one card will be called whatever smart card or citizen's card, but it will be a smart social security card. I'd like you to refer to other developed countries, like in the US, we have a social security card, social security number, and there is no other NBR number. In New Zealand, we have an IRD number. In Sweden, I used to work there as a visiting professor. We used to see a number called person number. So these two numbers, and NBR is struggling to have people have a TIN, although in the recent years it has gone up, but still has not gone up to the desired level. So we're going to we'll abandon the current TIN, and NID card, your NID card will become your TIN card, and it will merge all other features, your healthcare features. More importantly, all your health data will also be recorded there, and your entitlements, like we have got some proposals for elderly, for children, for lactating mothers, for pregnant women, for students, for women. So everything will be embedded in that one card, and it will be probably different colors. Elderly people will have one color, people under 5 will have one color, pregnant women will have one color, students will have one color. So, but it will be one card, a single card, and it will overnight. I'd like our Nasir sir to take note that overnight we'll have millions of TIN numbers. Everybody will have a TIN number, and everybody over the age of 18, everybody with an income or no income will submit a tax return. And not to mention, the lowest taxable amount is now 375,000 taka. We propose it to be 600,000 takas, 6 lakh taka. So anyone with a monthly income of 50,000 taka, below 50,000 will not pay any tax, no taxes. So 12 mashe 50,000 kore 6 lakh, 6 lakh taka will be your taxable threshold. But of course, there will be other deductions, investment, childcare, education, with many deductions. So millions of people will enjoy tax-free life. We have some 3 very important capital expenditure proposals. These will not be part of our revenue budget, but we have still accounted for all those. So 3 ambitious capital expenditure development proposals. One is 1 lakh crore, 1 lakh koti taka will be spent on road connectivity, roads, highways, bridges, and rivers. So over 5 years. So every year, 20,000 crore will be on road connectivity and infrastructure. And very importantly, my business friends, for 3 years from 13th of February 2026, this year, you will not pay a single cent more on water, electricity and gas. You know that we have received a lot of complaints that our cost of doing business has gone up significantly. Chittagong Port has raised its tariff by 41% recently. Gas connections, water connections, electricity prices keep going up every year about 7 or 8 times in 1 year. So we know that sometimes it may be necessary because energy has to be imported. We have imported energy to use to convert it into electricity. So, but for 3 years, to give a stability, to give a breathing space to our business community, there will be a 3-year moratorium on all your utility payments. Only for industrial connections though, not for residential ones, industrial connections. So যাদের কলকারখানা factory, তারা এটা পাবেন. Then interest-free loans for small and marginal farmers, subject to some criteria. Qarz Hasana, you know, one of the Islamic principles. So we use those Islamic values that for small and marginal farmers, like some financed by Grameen Bank and others, there will be interest-free loans to those. Then some business-friendly reforms, simplify licensing, one-stop digital services. These are things that, you know, as Dr. Devopriya said, that these are lofty promises that everyone says. If you look at the prospectuses of the last few, you know, several elections, we had 12 elections already in this since independence. So every time we saw these promises, but no one actually stood by their promises and no one showed how. We have a policy to tackle NPLs, non-performing loans, asset management, asset quality, recovery framework, will bar chronic loan defaulters, bring back siphoned money. How we are going to do that, I'll explain soon in banking governance and banking reform. We will make all these commercial bank boards and insurance company boards and NBFI, our NBFI sector is completely destroyed. Non-bank financial institutions, none of them almost exist. Some of our pride institutions. It's heartening as a student of finance to know when we went to study finance at Dhaka University, we saw BSB, BSRS were some of our pride institutions dedicated to industrial financing. But now where are they? BSRS, BSB, they have been merged into BDBL and they are now running on rental income. They just rent, they are building out. It's like subletting your home, no place for your children, no place for your family, no place to study, play. You have to sublet most of your home and then live, buy your groceries from sublet income. So BSB, BSRS, ICB, they are doing it now. So we will make the boards independent, we'll bring independent directors, and I would also like to propose that the two institutions that have never seen independent directors, it takes a bold and courageous government to do that. ACC, the Dudok, Anti-Corruption Commission, and NBR will have independent directors, independent members in their board who are not from their service, who are not from civil service or from any other services. They will be independent people nominated by parliamentary committees, and then all these boards will be vetted. The board chairman, the board members will have to be vetted by the parliamentary committees. Government, the Prime Minister, we talked about decentralization, the Prime Minister or the President will not have the privilege, will reform these institutions ahead, even more than what the so-called Oikomoto Commission has proposed. There will be more institutional reform. We will focus on primarily 4. We call it clan, the courts, the total judiciary, the law enforcement, the SEC, and NBR. These 4 institutions will have to be reformed. And once those are reformed and made independent and neutral, remember, independence alone may make them partisan, that they get a license. If I'm independent, I can do anything I like. So there must be mechanisms and systems in place to make them accountable to the people through parliament and other regulatory institutions. So these 4 are just the top ones, the crown, but all statutory institutions, BTRC, BRTC, all like UGC, the Special Election Commission. You have seen what Election Commission did 24 hours ago, or 36 hours ago, they allowed all these loan defaulters to contest in elections. So that is against the policy that we are going to propose. You can never get rid of non-performing loans if you allow them at the highest level of government. Because once you become an MP, you can be a prime minister. So technically this election commission on which the people of this country, the martyrs, the 1400 martyrs, and the martyrs of our liberation war, everybody entrusted a role of governing this country, of choosing people who would govern. They have betrayed with the spirit of liberation war and the spirit of July revolution. I want to say it unequivocally as Warisul Karim. I'm not saying it on behalf of these policies, but I'm sure everybody in this room echoes my sentiment that it is not the prerogative of the election commission or any of the election commissioners to use their personal feelings that maaf kore diyan, please, we're sorry, we have to approve you with a heavy heart, but please pay back the loan. This is not how it works. It is not your money, sir. It is people's money, and we are now drowning. We are drowning with more than 6 lakh crore taka of non-performing loan, and you have the guts to sit at that office in Sherbangla Nagar with our money. The air that you are breathing, the water that you are drinking is our money, is my children's money, my students' money, my parents' money. And you are saying that doya kore loan ta shod kore diyan. So I don't think constitution or common sense allows you that prerogative. Anyway, so this is the spirit with which we like the Jamaat leaders to look at these policies. These are not just paper. You cannot implement any of these unless you have governance changes, because governance has bred corruption. My previous speaker said that power breeds corruption and absolute power breeds absolute corruption. We just didn't have absolute power. We had absolute, unbridled, unaccounting power. We had almost omnipotent power. And one of the late parliamentarians of Awami League, Mr. Suranjit Sengupta, he said that the Prime Minister of this country, and he actually mentioned Sheikh Hasina's name, he said that she has the power. She cannot just alter your gender. She cannot change a man into a woman and a woman into a man, but she can do anything other than that. So we don't want a Prime Minister to have omnipotent power. We want Prime Minister and every minister and every members of the Parliament to be serving the people who elected them, because they are representatives. It's like you sending me to buy your lunch, and I must buy the lunch that you assigned me, that you mandated. Anyway, so our banking reform will come on the back of those independent boards. Will make sure that Bangladesh Bank is independent and neutral and accountable. So mere independence is not going to be allowed to you. You'll be made accountable, and there will be no blanket bailouts. No bailouts at all. There is, of course, as you can see, it's a SME and startup. So now education, jobs, youth and education. This is another big piece of our policy. And I want you to go home with this good news that will offer interest-free loans to our graduates, because when my daughter was graduating in May of 2016, she was nervous. We are nervous as parents that what is she going to do? And this is one of the most nerve-wracking times of a student. When we lived in residential halls, we didn't know after graduation what we would be doing. I was lucky enough to have a job offer, but most of us do not. We want our students not to live in despair. If you don't have a place to live, if you don't have your parents living in Dhaka city, then you know that what it means, what it feels to be leaving your hall of residence where you lived for like last 4 or 5 years almost with no rent. So we want to offer them 10,000 taka free loans to graduates, but this is not just free money handing over. We'll call it skill recalibration scholarship. Skill recalibration stipend. It means there will be very strict criteria. They have to meet those. They have to get enrolled in some skill building training, maybe a master's, maybe another degree, maybe some other training, vocational or occupational. They may want to change their occupation. A student, one of my daughters, say graduating with a social science or arts degree, she might want to learn nursing. Someone might want to do from engineering to computing or computing to photography. So they may want to recalibrate their skills. Anyway, so it will be not for everyone, about 500,000 youth. We know about You know, the 23 লক্ষ মানুষ প্রতি বছর job market enter করে. 2.3 million people, youth, they enter the job market, and only about 1 million jobs, and of which I say not more than 23,000 decent jobs. আপা 23,000টাও decent jobs নেই. BCS এ 3 থেকে 4,000, বাংলাদেশ ব্যাংকের সহকারী পরিচালক about 80-90 জন, 100 জন, কয়টা কমার্শিয়াল ব্যাংক কতজন নেয়? ম্যানেজমেন্ট ট্রেনিং অফিসার 35 to 40, খুব বেশি হলে অনেক ব্যাংক তো কাউকে না জানিয়ে you don't get to know when they recruit. So 23,000টাও আমার মনে ওভারস্টেটমেন্ট, আমি ক্যালকুলেট করি নাই, কিন্তু আমার কথা হচ্ছে 23 লক্ষ মানুষের জন্য 23,000 জব ইজ নট গুড এনাফ। ফুড প্যান্ডার, খাবার ডেলিভারি, বাইং হাউস, আটা ময়দা সুজি এগুলো ডেলিভার করার জন্য আমরা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে গ্র্যাজুয়েট করি না। 23 লক্ষ মানে যুবক যুবতীর জন্য there is no hope. So we are living a futureless society, a futureless future for them. We don't want that to happen. So আমরা তাদেরকে বলতে চাই যে if you qualify, if you meet those criteria, there is a scholarship for you for 2 years. We'll give you some sustenance support. But this will be loan. This will not be free money. Then merit-based student loans. That's the first one is after graduation. Then the second one is while you are still at the university. So for high-performing students, the ones whose job is almost guaranteed, say CGPA of 3.8 or above, or 3.5 and above, and upon the recommendation of the head of the institution, আপনার ডিপার্টমেন্ট চেয়ার অথবা ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর অথবা আপনার যিনি প্রিন্সিপাল, ওনার বেসড অন হিজ অর হার রেকমেন্ডেশন আমরা কয়েক হাজার স্টুডেন্টকে, এখানে 10,000 স্টুডেন্টকে, কারণ আই ওয়াজ ওয়ান অফ দেম, আমরা 4টা টিউশনই করে আমাদেরকে মাস্টার্সের সময় পড়ালেখা করতে হয়েছে। এক একটা SM হল থেকে সেই রামপুরা, SM হল থেকে মোহাম্মদপুর, SM হল থেকে শান্তিনগর, এটা যাতে আমার কন্যা, আমার পুত্র, আমার ভাই বোনদের করতে না হয়। যদি তারা মেধাবী হয়, এটা উইল স্টার্ট ফ্রম দেয়ার ফোর্থ ইয়ারে, কারণ 1 বছর পরই তারা জব পাবে। এরপর যদি এটা সাকসেসফুল হয়, 3rd ইয়ার, 2nd ইয়ার, 1st ইয়ার, তো 4 বছরের জন্য এরকম মাত্র 1 লক্ষ স্টুডেন্টকে, তো খুব বেশি দেওয়া যাবে না। দে হ্যাভ টু বি হাই পারফর্মিং, এমন দোজ ওয়ান্স যাদের চাকরি পাওয়া অলমোস্ট সার্টেন, সো দ্যাট তারা চাকরি পাওয়ার পর সেই টাকাটা আমরা ফেরত পাই। গভর্নমেন্ট উইল অনলি হ্যাভ টু টপ আপ। 5 বছর পর সেই টাকা আমরা ফেরত পাওয়া শুরু করবো। লাইক ইন দ্য US, অফকোর্স দেয়ার উইল বি মিলিয়ন্স অফ ডলার্স অফ নন পারফর্মিং লোন দেয়ার টু। আমেরিকার ইস্যু আছে, আদার দেশেও আছে। আমি মনে করি গভর্নমেন্টের বাজেট থেকে শুধুমাত্র দে উইল টপ আপ, জাস্ট দ্য ইনফ্লেশন অ্যাডজাস্টমেন্ট করবে, আর যে নট পারফর্মিং পার্টটা তারা পে করবে। বাট আমরা আশা করি যেহেতু আমরা খুব ভালো স্টুডেন্টদেরকে দেবো, দিস ইজ নট ইউনিভার্সাল। ইন দ্য US they make it universal, নিউজিল্যান্ড, অস্ট্রেলিয়া, UK they make it universal student allowance. We are not proposing any allowance, we are proposing loans. একটা অ্যালাউন্স আছে। এরপর দেন 1 লাখ কোটি টাকা, 1 লাখ crore টাকা on educational infrastructure. This is another significant piece of our policy. আমরা বর্তমানে যেটা জাতীয় বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় যেটা আপনি দেখেন, the one you see as national university, the one which has about 4 million students, it has thousands of colleges. আমরা এটাকে reorganize করব। How? We are going to separate the top tier colleges. About top tier, Carmichael, BM College, Victoria College, Dhaka College, Bogda Azizul Haq College, Pabna Edward College. So these top tier colleges will be converted into standalone universities. Listen to this. So there will be some 50 new universities, but they will be great institutions because Dhaka College is older than Dhaka University. And we are keeping Dhaka College as a national university. Not a lot of people take pride in graduating from national university. Because সেখানে সবচেয়ে ভালো ভালো কয়েকটা কলেজ আছে, আবার লাইক নটর ডেম কলেজ সেখানে, হলি ক্রস কলেজ সেখানে, ইডেন কলেজ সেখানে, ঢাকা কলেজ is part of national university. We want the top tier ones to become standalone universities, and then the second tier গুলো will leave them under the current national university. And সেখানে সবার একটা pathway থাকবে। যারা 2-year ডিগ্রি করে, even if you do a 2-year BA become BSc, they will have a pathway to go to another university to complete their 3rd and 4th years, like in the model of United States community colleges. সেখানে 2 বছর you do 2 years at a community college, then based on some criteria, if you can fulfill those, you can get to top regular universities. So এখানে 1 লক্ষ টাকা, 1 লক্ষ কোটি টাকা আমাদের budget for 5 years to transform those universities. We have land is already there, professors are there, buildings are there, classrooms are there. We just need to modernize those infrastructure. We need to invest in labs, we need to invest in classrooms, in bathrooms. And one point I'm so tempted to share with you, that recently Pratham Alo was publishing pieces on these great colleges, and at one of those colleges I think Ananda Mohan, they said they have 42,000, listen to this, 42,000 students at a college and only one hostel for 120 people and only 3 bathrooms, 3 washrooms for 42,000 students. This is not acceptable. This is not Bangladesh. This is not any decent country. So we like to invest in hygiene, in classrooms, in making them modern. And then another part of the university, and there was a signature promise. Jamaat-e-Islami is excited about it. Our sisters and daughters will be excited. We are going to create world's largest women university, combining Eden College, Badrunessa College, and Home Economics College. These 3 colleges are in one location, at a very prime location, so we don't need a single square inch of land. Again, গত কয়েক বছর ধরে গভর্নমেন্টগুলো they established more than 54 universities with some কতগুলো চরাঞ্চলে, যেমন নোয়াখালীর যেখানে কলেজ হয়েছে এখানে কিছুই ছিল না। এরকম আমরা নো ম্যানস ল্যান্ডে ইউনিভার্সিটি করতে চাই না, যেখানে অলরেডি উই হ্যাভ ল্যান্ড, ভেরি এক্সপেন্সিভ ল্যান্ড ঢাকা শহরের মধ্যে, ইডেন কলেজ, বদরুন্নেসা এবং হোম ইকোনমিক্স কলেজ, উই আর গোনা কম্বাইন দোজ and make the world's largest women university. We'll invest money on, so part of our 1 lakh crore taka will go there. Then we promise to triple our remittance from, because the previous speaker said that we now send unskilled laborers, our laborers at Abu Dhabi airport, Dubai airport, you see them cleaning bathrooms. We want skilled laborers. You want to send skilled laborers. So there will be, you go to a police station, you are going to see skilled policemen. You have firefighters, you are going to have educated, good character, skilled firefighters. So everyone working, every citizen will be a skilled, educated Bangladeshi as we aspire. So that's what we call intellectual remittance, means educated, remittance from educated workforce. We'll have women-friendly workforce because, have we said this? Women, education for women from class 1 to highest level at public institutions will be free. No girl, no woman will pay a single taka of tuition fee at public institutions in Bangladesh. I don't think we need to explain things that are more or less self-explanatory. Then healthcare, another big piece. I'm so proud to be able to present these things for my country. I'm a professor. I'm taking a huge personal risk, you could say, to come and join on the podium of a political party. But I thought that these are the policies that our country deserves. So what do we propose? We proposed every 60-year older and above, everyone at the age of 60 and above will enjoy free health care. For everyone. The moment you are 60, like in the US, at 65, so 60 and above will have free health care, and every child under 5 years of age will have free health care. I wish Devopriya was here, and I still hope he is. So we are going to show how we make money for that. So the desire, Jamaat's desire is to have universal health care. পৃথিবীর অনেক দেশে, সবচেয়ে সভ্য দেশগুলোতে ইউনিভার্সাল হেলথ কেয়ার আছে। আমাদের দেশেও টেকনিক্যালি ঢাকা মেডিকেল কলেজে আপনি 10 টাকা দিয়ে একটা টিকিট করে আপনি চিকিৎসা পেতে পারেন, কিন্তু হোয়াট দ্য কন্ডিশন অফ আওয়ার হসপিটাল। তো আমরা 60 অ্যান্ড অ্যাবাভ প্রত্যেককে ওই যে স্মার্ট কার্ড থাকবে, সেখানে ওনার কার্ডের আলাদা কালার হবে, he or she, they will be entitled to free health care, and any child under the age of 5, জন্ম থেকে 5 বছর পর্যন্ত free health care. And for women, Dilarapa asked about women, that why haven't we Jamaat nominated any woman? But see this, for the country that you liberated with millions of people's sacrifices, supreme sacrifices. We propose that for every mother, as soon as they figure out that they're pregnant, for all pregnant women during pregnancy and during lactating periods, a total 1,000 days, their primary health care will be free. Primary health care for all women carrying a baby up to 2 years during lactating period and during their pregnancy, they will enjoy free health care. We're going to propose 64, not that propose, we are committed to building these 64 state-of-the-art hospitals in 64 districts. In some cases, there are hospitals already. If there is one, we'll modernize it. We don't need to acquire more land, because land grab, we are a country of land scarcity. We don't have a lot of land. So the hospitals that are already there, they will be modernized into modern state-of-the-art hospitals. You will not see dysfunctional health system. You will not see dysfunctional equipment. So we have budget for that, 1 lakh crore taka. So about 64 hospitals. It's an estimated budget for 5 years. So this is part of ADP. You know, Bangladesh has, even this year, Bangladesh total ADP is 2 lakh koti taka. Kintu you don't feel it, because then 40-50% corrupt hoye jay. So we can do that. We can only do that, as I already mentioned, that none of this is possible unless we can eradicate corruption. So you'll have to get rid of corruption. You'll have to get rid of fascism. You know, Alamgir Bhai has said that a free and fair election, but with the current election commission, I'm not sure whether you can have that. But we have seen in this country many election commissions to betray with the faith of the people. We don't want the current one to do the same. But if we could achieve that, then we would be able to deliver on those promises. You can see, we talked about independent bodies, meritocracy. Of course, every appointment will be based on merit, and top level appointments will have parliamentary vetting. And I already mentioned about SCC, NBR, judiciary, PSC, and their independence. We're very close. So the projected expenditure, now the crunch. How are you going to pay for it? These are lofty. I heard the word lofty. Lofty promises. It's easy to say that I'm going to build another Taj Mahal for you. I'm going to take you all over the world. I'll go to the Alps to bring the most white diamond for you. So the total expenditure for this, you can see lost revenue for minimum taxable income. Remember, 3,75,000 থেকে 6 lakh. So there will be some lost revenue, 400. These are all amounts in crore taka. So just to save space. So 400 koti taka lost revenue for minimum taxable income. Flat VAT will lose the most.